welcome to my channel. I'm Jess, and this is Canyon Oracle, a place where we use divination tools like tarot and oracle cards to inspire healing and transformation in the lives of truth seekers just like you. Today we're going to be looking at the energy forecast of the week that we're stepping into. So the week of May 18th. However, whenever you find yourself at this video, it's actually the perfect time for you. There are no accidents. We are going to look at anything from love to business to blessings to things that you may want to avoid. Whatever it is that your higher self feels like you should be hearing right now is what we're going to talk about. Before we get started, I have to remind you that you are the architect of your own life, which means that no matter what energies are currently coming toward you, you actually have free will. You can always make a new choice that could potentially launch you in a whole new timeline. So don't ever feel like you are locked into whatever it is that you hear in this video today, yeah? The other thing that I think is really important to note is that these are general readings. So some aspects of the reading may not apply to you. I just really invite you to, plug in whatever is resonant for you and apply it to whatever story is appropriate for you. Also, you may choose a pile and feel like it doesn't resonate with you at all. I say just scratch the whole thing and either move on to another pile or move on to another pick a card video entirely. There are so many great Instagram. I keep saying Instagram, it's funny. I am going to be spending more time on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram and you like it over there, please come find me at Canyon Oracle. But also on YouTube, there's tons of amazing tarot readers that I have totally loved watching myself. And I really like pick a card videos in particular because it invites the viewer to really use their own internal guidance system and use their own intuition. I imagine that that's something that interests you too, which is why you're at this video. If it is something that you want to explore more, I've actually created a really powerful meditation. It's almost 30 minutes long, and it leads you through a journey to your higher self where you can actually connect with your higher self and get downloaded messages. It's really a great meditation, I have to say, and I'm giving it away for free. So if that's interesting to you, you can find that link in the description box below. It's called the Inward Journey Meditation. You can also find it at canyonoracle.com/YT. There's other information in the description box below, like more about the work that I do. I do one-on-one live intuitive coaching sessions where I use divination tools like tarot and oracle cards to really get to the root of whatever it is that's stopping you and to get insight and guidance about how to move you forward toward the life that you truly desire. If there's anything else that you're interested in and you don't find it in the description box below, please do not hesitate to leave me a comment. I promise I will get back to you. Oh, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to my channel. I am doing weekly pick a card videos, so there may be others that resonate with you as well. Okay, so without further ado, we have 3 groups to choose from today. We have group 1, which is the rough amethyst stone. We have group 2, which is the rough orange stone. I think it starts with a C and I can't remember what the name is. If you know what it is, will you leave me a comment, please? And then the third is the quartz crystal. Okay, so I just invite you to take a moment, really ground yourself in your body, feel your feet on the ground, take a nice deep breath, and then choose a pile that most resonates with you. And I'll see you on the other side. Hi, Group 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to look at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the story that wants to be told. So some of these energies are going to be obviously from the past, things that are influencing you now in the future, and then also what you're moving toward. But we'll see what the larger story is that really wants to be told. So the first card that we have is the Waiting Game, which is the Two of Wands in the traditional tarot. This is a card that is about choices, finding your path, getting in alignment. It's interesting in this deck, it's the waiting game. So it feels to me like you have been waiting on making a choice of some kind. And I have a feeling that you're going to be making that choice this week, but we'll see. So your higher self wants you to know that that's what we're going to be talking about, okay? Whatever that is. So there might be something that popped into your head right now that says, oh yeah, I have been trying to make a decision about that business opportunity, or should I move, or should I stay or go inside of this relationship? You know exactly what that is. Okay, the next card that we have is the Three of Pentacles, and in this deck it's recognition and reward. So quite possibly this decision that you haven't made yet, or whatever you're contemplating, has something to do with working with someone else. Could be in business, could be in love. We'll see if the cards want to specify, but again, you apply it to your own life. The next card that we have is the Eight of Swords, and this is trapped in fear in this deck. This is a card very literally about being afraid, and it is a self-imposed prison. So we don't see any locks on these windows, you know? This guy, and he can also see out. He's choosing not to look, however. So my sense is that whatever it is that you're trying to figure out what you want to do next, this choice that you're making, this kind of feels like the Two of Swords energy for you right now, which is that like, I don't want to look, I don't want to make a choice, I don't want to move yet. And clearly it's because you are afraid of something. You're afraid of whatever it is that choice will cause you to do. Because here's what we know about making a choice. You kill something else off, right? So if I choose to stand up, I've now killed off sitting down, if that makes sense, right? If I choose a boyfriend, the other boys are no longer available to me. So a lot of times we don't want to make a choice because we feel now limited and constricted. I resonate with this quite a bit in my own life. I have had a lot of troubles sticking to certain things because I have a lot of interests in my life. And, you know, every time we say, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do. Well, you know, we each have however many hours in the day, right? So we can only dedicate those hours to whatever it is that we've chosen to do, which means everything else is closed off. So my sense is something like that is going on with you as well. That you're afraid you're going to make the wrong choice. The next card that we have, beautiful, is the Justice card, 11. This is the card of balance in this deck. So, and I'm really noticing the circle that's around him. So it's kind of like, I feel like the advice for you is that, my sense is that you know what the truth is for you. And maybe at a certain level, you're afraid of this truth because it is going to make you change. Again, there is something about you're not wanting to make those changes or take the steps that you know to take, right? But the truth is coming out. This is the larger theme that's happening. There is some truth that will be revealed, and it will balance things out. Even though you're afraid right now that things won't get balanced, my sense is in this week, actually, you will find justice, balance, with whatever choice you make. Wow, the next card is the Wheel of Fortune. In this deck, it's the Destiny card, which is interesting. So it's like the wheels have already started turning. What's interesting to me about the Wheel of Fortune card, which is what I've actually been meditating on a lot lately, in regard to this card in particular. I think this card is fascinating, the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot, because it is about the wheel of karma turning, right? And we sort of don't have a choice in the matter. Like, our previous actions and beliefs and choices have caused the wheel to now turn in the direction that it's turning. And there's something about this card that advises us to use our own will. So what do I mean by that? There's something that is, here's my feeling. It feels like things are turning in your life right now because you haven't made a choice. And my sense is that the universe actually wants you to be the one to make the choice. To not just let that wheel pull you forward, because it will, and things will change, because that's just the nature of life. Things will always change, and you'll always get new opportunities, absolutely. But my sense is that right now, you are being asked to actually make a choice yourself and move in a direction that you feel is true for you. Wow, so we have the To Be Fair card. This is pretty much the same thing as the Justice card in my view. This is a card about things balancing themselves out. So, although I do think it's important that you make this choice, because I think you know what is actually unfolding and how things are moving, and you're just hoping that things sort of work themselves out. And although they probably will, again, my feeling is that your empowerment will be in you actually making the choice to move things forward, and that you already know things will be fair. Fairness, truth, justice, like these are all a part of your energy field this week. So if you were afraid maybe of making your own choice because you were afraid that like things wouldn't turn out in your favor, the cards are saying absolutely no, they are going to turn out in your favor. And you go ahead and make that choice for yourself, because fairness and justice will prevail in this matter. Absolutely, without question. And that we got 11, and I'm also seeing 8 and 3, 11 again, 38 here, 11. The World card, which is also an 11. 11 is a master number. It is a creative number. So there is a creative life force energy that is pulling you forward in your life this week. And it wants you to take action and know that you are safe. You are protected. The universe has got your back. For sure, without question. Everything is going to be fair, and it's going to be worked out in your favor. So the World card is about coming out into the world, being seen, being known. It could also be something about the internet. So if you were concerned about something that's been going on in the internet, either a business or relationship, there's been like either social media, messages or posting about something, and you've been conflicted about moving forward or making a choice or expressing yourself in some way, again, the message is very clear. Please express yourself. Please believe in yourself. Be brave. Move forward, because all the odds are in your favor this week, for sure. Then we got karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Okay, so if this is about a relationship and it has been scary to you because, and when I say scary, I don't mean like someone is hitting you, but rather like it has felt You've been nervous about leaving the relationship or speaking up in the relationship, or things haven't felt fair. Because when we get all these balance and justice cards, what it tells me is things haven't been fair for you. And maybe someone is being a jerk or bullying you or saying stuff about you online or something like that. And it has felt really stifling for you. I want you to know that it is in service of your highest good is the most important thing that I'm getting and I'm hearing that you need to know, which is that whatever these conflicts are, they are calling for you to become something that you haven't been before. This is about your expansion. This is about your growth. This is in service of your highest good. And not only that, but whatever comes out of this will be fair. It will be in your favor. The scales will be balanced out. If you've been feeling like a victim of something in your life, I can tell you that this week things are shifting in your favor for the better without question. Okay? So this is good news. I can tell that something's been going on that's been stressing you out, but things are working out in your favor. For sure. And my sense is that by the end of the week, you're going to have a much better perspective of that. Something's going to happen where you're going to understand. You're going to understand why all of this had to happen. And you're going to see how the universe actually wanted you to speak up or be something that you haven't been before, or maybe even just have faith. Now, the last card is about really a direct message. I look at this card sort of as a prayer. So I'm curious to see if we can sort of sum this all up. And you got the card of compassion. And it says, as you pray each day for greater compassion, a new self is born, drawing new people and experiences. And the prayer is, Dear Lord, help me feel ever-deepening self-acceptance. May I see myself as you see me. So this is probably about relationships, okay? And it is about compassion. It's about compassion for whomever it is that you're in a conflict with, because clearly we have now several cards about working together and conflicts and how challenging working with people can be. And that means in a personal way or in a business way, right? But the message is clear. This is for your expansion and things are going to work out. So yes, take action. Yes, move forward. Yes, speak whatever truth wants to come out of you, okay? Free yourself from whatever it is, these fears that are holding you back. The guidance is that compassion is the way forward. So this is about compassion for the other and also compassion for yourself. So if you've been beating yourself up because you haven't maybe all the stuff that I'm saying, you're like, I know, and I can't take action and I can't speak up for myself. The cards are really asking for you to have compassion for yourself, you know? We're all going through a lot right now in this world, right? And I do believe that our shadows are being called to the surface to be healed. So whatever fears or conflicts you're experiencing in your life, they are here in service of your highest good, as I've already said. But what does that mean? That means that there are shadows, wounds from your past, probably your childhood, because that's where we get most of our wounding, right? There are wounds from your childhood that still want to be healed. They need to be healed. It's time for you to do an up-leveling. It's time for you to get the recognition and the reward that you deserve in your life. And whatever that fear, that insecurity, that anxiety is within you that's been holding you back, it's time for it to be healed. And that's why this conflict is happening. This obstacle, whatever this self-imposed fear, conflict, anxiety is that's going on in your life that you perceive as an outside influence, of course, because that's what happens, right? Something on the outside is happening and we think it's happening to us, right? But really it is an internal experience. So I would say do some journal work about what are these fears and anxieties that I'm having. Maybe where did I have them before? Where's the first time that I had this? And give yourself some compassion. Maybe some forgiveness work needs to, maybe you need to do some forgiveness work around this for yourself, for whomever it is you're in conflict with. And then if you do go back, like through some journal work, which could be super powerful, and you discover that, gosh, I did feel these same fears and anxieties that I'm experiencing right now with my boss, I actually can see that I had when I was 7 years old with my dad, because he used to always blah, 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 right? So forgiveness work can free you from these shackles. Whatever it is that's holding you back, forgiveness, compassion can soothe these wounds I'm hearing. Compassion for yourself, compassion for others. Will give you the self-acceptance that you need. Yeah, because my sense is that, yeah, it is a conflict that you're experiencing with someone else, but you're really beating yourself up about it. You are really being hard on yourself right now. So it's really important that you take this opportunity to dig into those feelings, and find a way through journal work, look up forgiveness, compassion, and dive into that. Like, what would it take? And you can start it with a prayer. Like, what would it take for me to forgive myself and my father, my boss, my whomever, right? How can I bring compassion to this situation? And that, I think, really is going to bring the balance. Because although this feels like an important message that I'm going to leave you with, although life in this 3D experience on this planet often feels totally fucking not fair, right? Sorry for my French, but it doesn't feel fair. Bad things happen to good people all the time, and it sucks. And this life is really hard. That is the material, that is the physical experience that we're all going through in this life, that it doesn't feel fair. But in the spiritual realm, if you can take your perspective out further and further and further and further and connect to your higher self, that aspect of you that resides with the divine, then you can see a greater perspective that everything is always balanced in the end. Everything is always fair in the end. You are always being guided. You are always protected. And everything always comes out in the wash, as my mother would say. So it seems like it's not fair now, but it is designed to move you towards the life that you want. So if it seems like it's happening again, and it happened before, and it keeps on happening, and why does life feel so unfair? It's because there's an aspect of you that still needs love from you. And instead of looking for that love externally, which is probably what you have done mostly in the past, which is what all of us do. That's what we're told we're supposed to do in this life. Get our love externally. And although that's important as well, if you really want to feel balance, you want to discover a way to get that love from the inside, as cheesy as that sounds. So my sense is that whatever these things are that feel really out of balance and really unfair in your life right now, it is designed for you to go internally to discover that balancing, loving, compassionate energy within yourself. Because that's the only place that you'll ever be able to maintain that balanced feeling, Because externally, life is always going to be chaotic. That's just how it is here, unfortunately. That's how it is. So this lesson is really designed for you to discover that peace, serenity, compassion, and balance within yourself. And then the world will follow. And that's how it works, right? We have to cultivate that experience within ourselves first, and then the world follows. We take a leap of faith first, and then God gives us a demonstration in the external world. It always starts from within. So I know that I gave you a lot today. I hope that this all made sense to you. I'm excited for you. I see some really big, beautiful truths that are going to be revealed to you about yourself and the nature of life and how beautiful you are and your life really is. That is my sense, that you're going to really come out of this week with a greater sense of peace and fulfillment in the present moment. Okay, group one, I know that was a lot. I hope that it brought you some insight and clarity. If you have any questions about any of that, please leave me a comment in the description box below. I promise I will support you in any way that I can. Also, don't forget that I have these one-on-one live intuitive coaching sessions that I've got a great discount on. If you resonated with this video and you enjoyed it, a thumbs up would be amazing, or subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more of these every week. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and light. And until next time, be well. Hi, group two, welcome to your reading. Okay, we're going to be looking at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the story that wants to be told. So the first card that we have is the Sun card. What a beautiful way to start. And in this deck, it's light. And you can see how she is really being showered and illuminated in the light. And the Sun card is about new beginnings, oftentimes creative endeavors, and also like the illumination of truth, like insight. Something that has been in the dark is now coming to light, my sense is. So there's been maybe some confusion about some stuff, either in a work project or a love relationship or something like that. And there's gonna be some beautiful, divine creative light that is flowing into your life right now. Ooh, and then we have the sacral chakra, the second chakra. This is a card about very similar energy to the Sun. It is about creativity. It's also about intimacy and relationships. So this could be a week about something coming to light inside of an intimate partnership. Then we have the card of moving on. So this is the Six of Swords. This is a card about moving from chaos to peace through the mind. So my sense is this is not going to be like it can sometimes indicate this card like moving from one house to another, very literally like moving. My sense is this is going to be an internal shift from you, that you've been having a lot of like chaotic energy or confusion about something, and that you're thinking your way out of it this week, or you're getting some insight about it that brings a lot of peace to you. Then we have the Lovers card. This is the card of harmony in this deck. So this is a card all about the heart chakra, that generative energy. So there's a lot of generative energy happening for you this week. Like you are definitely moving through something, moving away from something, moving out of something. So if you've been feeling stagnant in some way, there's going to be a lot of changes this week for you, for sure, coming from the heart. So what that means is it's not like, a lot of times we can change or move because we're afraid, right? We are reacting to something. So we're like, ooh, get me out of here. And I run away, right? That fight or flight feeling. My sense is for you this week, it's actually going to be coming from a higher space for you, your heart space, which is the space inside of you that knows and resonates with the truth. Beautiful. Wow. And then you got the card of hope, which is the Star card. This is a card about hope, dreams coming true, wishes fulfilled. And again, it does feel like if you have been going through some darkness, some confusion, some loss, I just heard, something like that, you're going to have a lot of hope and some insights about your future and how things are going to progress for you in a positive way. I mean, because you don't get the Star card and the Sun card if there aren't amazing things coming toward you. So some really beautiful insights, some downloaded messages from your higher self, I have a feeling, some synchronicities. Be sure to look out for those things. You know what I mean by synchronicities? Like you're thinking of a word and then you see it on a sign, right? You want to notice, what was I thinking about when I saw that synchronicity? These are affirmations. You're on the right path. You're moving in the right direction. Or if you have confusion, where should I go? What should I do? Like synchronicities will be leading you and guiding you. And it feels like you have a team of spirits that are absolutely guiding you right now. Okay, so we have the door to romance, and it was in the reverse. I don't always look at reverses, and I don't take it as seriously as other readers, but this is confirming that this is probably about a relationship, okay? So whatever we're talking about is probably about a relationship. Plus, we got the Lovers card, so, relationship stuff. So you're gonna get some insight and some clarity into a relationship that's probably been rocky, or maybe not just rocky, but maybe you just haven't known what the heck is going on with this relationship. And it's going to cause you to change in some way. So because this is a general reading, I'm going to say that for half of this group, you're going to see some things about your partner that's going to make you have clarity about the fact that you want to leave the relationship. Others of you that are watching this reading are going to have insight into a relationship that's going to make you feel more peaceful and at ease, and like you can rest and relax and enjoy this relationship, and you're in the right place. So you have to apply it to you in a way that works for you and your story, and you're going to know how that resonates. Let's see what the other cards have to say first. So the next card that we have is the Portal card. Doors are opening, you decide. Rewards. Wild card. Okay, so like I said, some of you are going to be moving away from a relationship or a partner, and others of you are going to be moving in the other direction, splitting up or coming together. You see what I'm saying? And the choice is yours. You have the Wild card here. But I think it's important that you not ignore these messages. They're really important. Whatever it is that you're hearing and learning about your partner this week, it's really important. Okay, so then we have the All That Glitters card. So this is a card that is about wearing masks, having a facade, fool's gold. So something that looks really great on the outside, and then you scratch it and it's really just junk metal. So that is, honestly, from looking at these cards, it feels like to me that for most of you, you're going to get insight into some relationship that maybe you were excited about them, and maybe this has been a relationship that's been going on for you, but there's been something about it that didn't feel right. And my sense is that you're going to be getting a lot of insight and clarity into what's really going on in this relationship, and it's probably not what you hoped for, and you may want to leave. But no matter what you decide to do, just remember there's hope, and you have a lot of beautiful things coming into your life right now. So if this is not the person for you, that's okay. There are other people, there are other opportunities. Life is definitely moving for you in service of your highest and best good. So then you got the card of confidence, which is really interesting. And it says divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me, this is the prayer, please fill me with your confidence, O love. Grant me courage I never knew I had. So, you know what other message I'm getting right now? For some of you, this is about the masks that you've been wearing. And you've been wearing those masks because you have not felt good enough for this person that you're with. And if that's the case, I got to tell you, the cards are you're telling you that you are absolutely good enough for this person, and this person wants to see the real you. And the truth is that if this is like a soulmate relationship kind of thing, we often mirror each other. So my sense is you both have been wearing masks. And I imagine that might have caused some confusion, some chaos, some upset, maybe even some conflicts in the relationship. And it may not even be externalized, but it might be internalized. So you might both be confused about this other guy because you're both kind of putting on a show for each other. Okay? So like I said, for some of you in this group, you are going to discover that whatever it was that was going on in the outside has now been revealed as not so great, and you're going to want to leave the relationship. Or leave the person. Maybe you're not in a relationship, but you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? This is not the person I thought they were, and I'm out of here. For others of you, it's about both of you having enough confidence to take your masks down so that you can truly see each other. So that you can step through this door to romance, this portal energy. It's interesting. The group before too, it's about like, something is changing this week, a big opportunity of some kind, but yours specifically is definitely about a relationship. So this may be about love, but it may not be about love. It may be about a work situation or a friend or even a family member. Like maybe some of you have been like, oh, I'm so strong and I've got it and everything's put together, you or your boss or your brother or your husband. But the reality is you're not okay. You are scared. Things have been crazy. And everybody needs to start telling the truth around here. Because the more you can take your masks down and the more that you can be courageous in your own truth about who you really are, what you're really afraid of, because the reality is we're human and we all have fears. And we all wear masks to hide our fears. We're all being inauthentic all the time. It's just what it is to be human. So instead of making yourself wrong about it, I say start to just make tiny steps to reveal your authentic self. And it doesn't have to happen all in one throw. It doesn't have to happen all this week. But it is time that you start to reveal the truth, because relationships that are built on inauthenticities only, like if everyone is pretending, oh yeah, I always wear this glittery gold mask, then when the relationship gets deeper and it's time to now move to the next level, it's going to be that much harder because nobody knows who the heck the other person truly is, So the guidance really is to have confidence that you are enough. And maybe this message of hope and the radiant truth of the sun is coming to you right now through this tarot reading. And I will say that your soul wants you to know that you have the divine spark within you. And you are enough. You have everything you've ever needed. You are everything you could ever wish for. You don't have to fix anything about yourself. You don't have to change anything about yourself. You are perfection just as you are. Now, the masks that you put on, those are not perfection, right? Those are inauthenticities, or the masks that other people wear around you. And we can always feel those masks. And what's so interesting is that, we often feel like, I'm not enough, so I'm going to put on all these masks so that people really like me, and I'll just be happy all the time and funny all the time, and then people will think I'm so funny, and then they're just going to like me so much. And the reality is there are some people who are also superficial and not really looking very deeply, and they're fine to have superficial relationships, and they'll definitely be entertained by your show. But you, I am certain of it, because I have a sense of who you are much deeper than that. And your soul requires authentic connection. And authentic connection requires vulnerability. And you have to be confident in yourself that you can be who you are in order to take your mask off. I mean, it's scary. It's scary. Let's be honest. I know there's no children watching this. I'm going to say this is not appropriate for children. So if you have children in the room, please tell them to leave. But, the first time you have sex with someone and you're like really looking at them and they're really looking at you and the sun is out and there's nowhere to hide, like that is scary, right? But that is the path to true, authentic connection, to true love. True love. Not bullshit love that lasts for a few weeks until you really find out who each other are, right? No, real, true love, lovers kind of love, fated destiny kind of love. And that takes confidence in knowing that you are enough. Your raw, authentic, messy, dirty self is enough. Your human, flawed, silly, goofy, quirky, often odd beliefs kind of self is totally great for your perfect person. And they want to know and see you for who you really are. Because they have been praying for you, just like you have been praying for them. That's what I just got very strongly for you. That's very important for you to know. That your person, whomever it is, whether it's this person or the next person. So again, this is a general reading. So for some of you, you haven't met your soulmate yet. But whomever is in your life right now, if they're not your soulmate, well, it's time that you get rid of them. At the very least, come clean with the truth of who you are, right? So that they can move on, or you can move on, so that then you can be available to your soulmate. For others of you, you have already met your soulmate. You are already in relationship with your soulmate, but it's not at the depth that you really know that it could be, because you both are putting on airs, because you both, I imagine, are hiding in some way. So the message is very clear. Come out of the closet, quit hiding, show your true self, and be confident in the truth of who you are. You are enough. You are enough, just as you are. That intimacy, that creative life force energy, that wants to be, it feels like it's a little bit blocked for you right now. So you could do some creative visualizations, like some lead meditation. I'm sure you can find some good stuff on YouTube for the second chakra. I would invite you to do some work on your second chakra for sure this week, because that will help with your confidence, your third chakra as well, right? So your second chakra is down right below your belly button. And you can just even visualize it spinning with orange light just pouring down into that chakra, and really just get a sense of it being happy and free and open and spinning and alive and full of life force energy, right? And then that third chakra, which is like the sun, which is yellow, you can visualize the same thing. All this light of the sun just pouring into your third chakra, just like you are so confident, right? That's where your confidence and your personal power comes from. And those will feed into each other. So the more confident you feel, the more intimate you will be able to be, the more vulnerable you'll be able to be, because you'll understand that vulnerability is really an illusion. So what do I mean by that? We think that we're vulnerable to attacks from other people if we reveal who we really are. So a lot of times we wear these masks And I'm telling this to you because it may not just be for you, it may be for the other person that you are dealing with. But again, we often mirror each other, so I imagine it's both of you, right? So when we feel like we're not enough, or that we have to wear a mask because we don't want the other person to really see the truth of who we are, it's because we feel that if they saw the true us, then they would reject us in a way that we would not be able to come back from. So it's like, if I pretend to be wealthy, let's say I start dating someone and I pretend that I have all this money and, oh, I'm loaded and I've figured out this money thing and, oh, I'm such a, big spender and da-da-da-da-da, right? The reason that I'm doing that is because I feel like, A, I'm not enough, and B, if you reject me, well, you didn't really know who I was anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if I tell you, I have money problems, actually, I'm in debt, I have no home, or I'm living in a small studio apartment on the other side of the tracks, and I'm not, then if you reject me, then I feel like you are rejecting me, and then it's really gonna hurt. But guess what? I'm no more poor than I am rich, and you are no more poor than you are rich, or fat than you are skinny, or funny than you are bland, or whatever it is that you're afraid of revealing yourself to be. Even that thing is not the truth of who you are. You are way bigger than that. You are not just the money in your bank. You are not just the fat on your belly, or your great body, or your great hair, or your funny jokes, or your clever retorts. No, you are not any of those things. Those are aspects of you, sure. Those are moments in time, sure. But they're not the truth of who you are. You are more like the sun. The truth of who you are is more like that ever radiating light of God. Okay? I'm sure you've heard this metaphor before, so pardon me, but it's a good one. So you imagine the sun is always shining, right? Some days the weather changes. Some days there's clouds overhead and we can't see the sun. And sometimes there's clouds that are there for a week. And we're like, did the sun go away? I can't see the sun, so it must not be there. No. The sun is always there. The sun is always shining the same way. The sun always has the same potency, always has the same truth, always has the same radiance, always has the same power, always has the same beauty, always has the same potential. That is you. You are the sun. So no matter what is going on in your life right now, that does not change who you are. It just doesn't. I mean, think about it. Who you are now is totally different than who you are before, right? Now, who you are now. People can be super successful and make all of this money and do all of these wonderful things in life, and then 5 years later, they're bankrupt, divorced, and living on the streets. Life is always changing. Our circumstances are always changing. Things are always going to be coming at us, and we're always going to be moving through this third dimensional life in different ways. And life will manifest itself through us in different ways all the time. But the truth of who you are, the real essence, your core, your divine spark is never changing, and it never loses its value. You are not fool's gold. You may have been pretending, but that's not who you are. Same as this other person. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, if they've been pretending to you and, now you're uncovering something about them, the truth is that's just what they've been going through. They, at some level, don't feel like they're enough. So they have to pretend like they're something that they're not. So they may reveal their true self to you, and you can still, have compassion for them and love them, but then you have a choice. you can make a choice to move away from them or toward them. But we always have to be honest about where we are right now. And just be confident in the truth of who you are. So this is interesting. Sorry, I paused for a second. I wanted to read this card because I thought that it would have some other hint of message. So again, it says divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. So my sense is somebody has been coming at you with some bravado, okay? That's probably this other person. And I did just go on a long tangent about what that's for. So maybe you needed to hear that, huh? Maybe you needed to have some compassion for this person that's been pretending like they had all their shit together and really they don't. Again, I'm not telling you to stay with them or leave them or anything. That's always your choice. You have free will. But maybe it's important for you to realize that they weren't doing it. I don't think that they were doing it to be deceitful, to get one over on you. It's because they actually really love you or care about you or really like you, and they just wanted to impress you. And so they came at you with all of this bravado, and it seems fake, and it probably is fake, and that's really unattractive, but it's coming from a good place, you know? And maybe if you can come toward them with that energy in your own heart, because like I said, there's like a lot of big change happening from you, but it's coming from a heart space. Confidence comes from that heart space, the truth of knowing the truth of who you are, right? Knowing the truth of who this other person is. Again, we're talking about true love with the Lover's card. Love of ourself, love of the other, love of life. And with that comes compassion about how sometimes we all can be bullshit artists because we feel like we're not enough. So whatever it is that's going on in your life right now, I think that is, to sum it all up, the important message for you. And that message is that you are enough, and that whomever you're dealing with is also enough, and that whatever games either of you have been playing, whatever masks you've been wearing, whatever truths are revealed to you about this other person, or whatever comes to light about yourself, it's coming from a lack of confidence, and it's not coming from a malicious space. So I hope that that helps you in making a better choice about whether to stay or to go with them. That it really is just, it has to do with confidence. That's it. It's not because they're a bad person. It's just because they really like you and they wanted you to like them. And so they put on a show and they were bullshitting you, but they're good. This is a good egg, I just heard. He's a good egg, or she, or whomever it is that you're dealing with. They didn't mean to be a total bullshit artist. They just are a little insecure because probably they really like you, and maybe they're just going through a lot of shit right now, and they didn't want you to know about it because they didn't want to scare you away. So they put on this song and dance number for you, and now you're finding out like, ooh, something's not right about this guy. Well, you're right. Something is not right. But at his core, he is a really good egg. And again, apply that to your life however it works for you. Yeah? Because there's hope. There's hope in this relationship. There is definitely hope in this relationship. We didn't get the star card for no reason, okay? So I know that this was sort of a very circuitous route we took here. I hope that this made sense to you. Again, whatever truths are being revealed this week about your lover, this is what I'm assuming is going to be happening. It's not coming from a bad place. So then maybe you can figure out together how you move forward in a more authentic way with more confidence, huh? Okay, group 2, that was your reading. I hope that it made sense, and I hope it brought you some clarity and some insight. If it resonated with you, a thumbs up would be amazing, and I would love to hear what made sense to you, what didn't make sense to you in the comments below. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings at least once a week, so maybe there's others that resonate with you as well. If you want some personal guidance and help, I do live intuitive one-on-one coaching sessions. I have a great discount right now. You can find out about that in the description box below. I thank you so much for your time and attention. I send you so much love and light, and until next time, be well. Hi, group 3, welcome to your reading. Okay, we're gonna look at each card one by one, and then we'll really see the larger story that wants to be told. So the first card that we have for you is the 4 of Cups, and in this deck, it is the card of discontentment and boredom. Interesting. So then the next card that we have for you is the World card, and in this deck, it's the Universe card. So it feels like just right off the bat that some sort of a cycle is coming to an end, and it could be about the lockdown, okay? This very literally could be that you're finally getting to go outside. I don't know where you are or when exactly you're watching this video, but my sense is that you've been locked in your house. And like all of us, I know you don't have to be psychic to know that, right? The whole world is locked down right now. But you in particular have been really bummed out about it, I think. And you see all this opportunity. Maybe you're a younger person, and it feels like that to me, that you're like maybe in your 20s or something. I say younger because I'm an old woman. But like you're like in your 20s and you've been feeling like, God, I can't even go out into the world and have a good time. Well, it feels like you are going to be able to go out into the world and have a good time this week. I don't know if that means that your lockdown is ending. I'm in California. Mine is not ending for quite some time, but yours might be. Or maybe there's something that's happening where you're actually able to get out into the world at some point this week. So let's see what else it has to say. Then you got the Strength card. This is the Power card in this deck. This is about perseverance and strength and will and truth. And I'm noticing in particular in this deck, you see the man and the lion are sharing the same soul in a way. So it is about merging maybe it's about your ego or something like that, like taming the beast within you, taming that ego side of you within you. Or just knowing yourself as this lion figure. There's something about that you're gonna have a sense of yourself in some way this week that brings strength and power to your life. Well, then we have the 5 of Cups, which is the card of emotional loss. So maybe your old life, maybe you're mourning your old life right now. This feels very much like the lockdown situation that you're going through, like the world changing. The other 2 readings that I just did were like very personal about relationships and stuff. This feels to me like for you, this is about the current pandemic, if you will. Like it feels like the cards want to talk to you about what's going on for you in regard to this pandemic, and it feels like you are having to mourn your old life in some way. And that could just be like your whole life. It could be work, it could be, what you used to love to do, and maybe you were like a very social person and you like to go to events a lot or something like that, and now you're not able to do it anymore. And it's sad, and that's okay. We're all mourning right now. We are all mourning our old life, and it's important to give yourself permission to go through whatever emotions it is that you're going through right now. You might be vacillating between boredom and discontentment and real sadness, real grief. And that's okay too, I feel like we all have been really up and down. It's like one moment you feel like, oh my God, I just want to get out of the house. And then the next minute you're like, I don't even want to get out of the house because what the hell am I supposed to do out there? Right? It's like that. But there is going to be some sort of taming that wild side within you, or that sort of, I don't know, you feel like a free spirit to me, like a fun person who likes to be out and about in the world. And so you're mourning that part of yourself. Let's see what else we get. Oh, then we have rest and rejuvenation. This is the Four of Swords. This is a card about meditation and stillness and quieting the mind. So, you know, the advice for you, it seems like if you are, my sense again of you is that you are a very social person and you like to be out and about in the world, and you have been locked now down in your house for some time now, and it's really bumming you out and you can't see. That's what it feels like to me. You can't see how the heck your life is going to get better again. How are you going to come out of this? How are you going to go back to the life that you once had? Well, you may not be able to go back to the life that you once had. None of us may be able to. But I feel like the advice is for you to not just stay inside your house, but to meditate and really go within. Really, really go within and search for whatever those answers are about this new life. This new life that you're going to have to create in the new world that we all are going to be living in, yeah? And you'll be guided. Interesting, we got the contract card in reverse. So it is like you had some plans, some contracts. Maybe this even is about work, like you were an event planner and you had all these contracts and now they're all broken and now you can't, go back to the work that you once did, and you're having to renegotiate. You're definitely having to renegotiate some contracts here. Then we got the Star Keeper card. Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Seed the light by staying grounded. So, this is a card, it's interesting because normally the Four of Swords is a guy in a traditional tarot deck who's inside, like inside of a chapel on a bed. This is a guy who's outside. So maybe you need to go into nature and meditate, or walk, or whatever it is your version of quieting your mind and going within, going inside yourself. And there are going to have to be some new seeds that are planted in your life. But my sense is that if you take this time this week to ground yourself, and when I say ground yourself, I mean very literally take your shoes and your socks off. If you've ever heard of the Earthing Institute, or earthing or grounding maybe. It's when you basically put your bare feet on the ground. And you want to do it, medicine is always 20 minutes, as we say in the healing arts community. So medicine is 20 minutes. So 20 minutes with your bare feet on the ground, as many days as you can this week. That is definitely the advice for you. Some nice deep breaths. So maybe you are a meditator, but you've been doing it inside, and it's been giving you more of the feeling of this loss. Like you've been, maybe you don't have trouble going within or meditating or stilling your mind or whatever, but you've been doing it inside. So it's been making you feel even more sad and lonely and at a loss, and you've been feeling like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't see the new life that I'm supposed to step into. All of these contracts are broken. What do I do now? Well, I think the advice is very literally to go outside, put your bare feet on the ground, and connect to your higher self so that these new seeds can be planted. And my sense is it is gonna be more expansive than you imagined it to be. Like maybe you did something like, and I know this is a general reading, so it's not gonna apply to everyone, but I keep feeling like something about events. So like maybe you were an event planner and you used to do indoor weddings or indoor events or something like that. And now the guidance is to think outside of the box and maybe do outdoor venues, parks, lakes. I just heard. I don't know if that means anything to you, but you see how there's this guy too where he's inside on his balcony and there's all this beautiful land behind him that he's not seeing. That's my sense of you. There's all this beautiful land behind you. Maybe you very literally live in a house and there is like nature or woods or something behind your house or something. You haven't gone there yet. There's something in nature that's calling for you, because I'm getting the chills for sure. Absolutely. Your guidance is to go find some nature and hang out there. And you will then get the answers that you need. You'll start, and even more than that, like for you, it might not necessarily just be about messages that you'll get a better feeling. You'll feel better if you go outside. Basically, you're gonna feel better if you spend more time outside this week. I know that seemed like kind of a simple message, but you also got the Loyal Heart card. I love, love, love this card. This is a card about loyalty in love, loyalty in relationships. It tells me, like, don't forget that you have a lot of beautiful people in your life, and that although things are changing and maybe this loss that you're feeling is about something specific. It may not just be a general loss like about your work or your life. It might very literally be about not seeing your friends, or not being able to see your boyfriend anymore because you guys don't live together and he's on another side of the town, or whatever that is. You've been feeling sad that you haven't been able to connect with people in your old life. But the message is clear. You still have incredible connections. These people, these hearts are loyal to you. So just because you're not being able to hang out with them right now doesn't mean that the relationships are going away at all. And maybe you can hang out outside together now too, Maybe it'll just be different, but it's not over. There are contracts that are ending, which means things are going to have to change, whether you like it or not. But that's called life, right? We are absolutely all being thrown into a new crazy change that we've never experienced before. And it is creating a lot of grief and a lot of feelings of loss. But you are really still loved. You in particular are really loved. I mean, I was getting a sense of you that you are this like super animated, I just heard, animated, social, loving person, and you love to be around people all the time. Well, that's not going anywhere. And those people that you've made connections with before, they still love you. They still want to be in your life. Maybe for you too, it's about calling people more, FaceTiming people more, connecting with people more, so that for you, it's really about shifting something internally. It's less about going and doing and more about shifting your energy. That's really important for you to shift your energy this week. And because we're seeing it in the cards, it really is a possibility. Like, it's time for you to come out into the world. Maybe not go to the club, maybe not go to the party, maybe not, do the things that you normally do, even go to the mall or go to the movies or whatever. But when you go out into the world, my sense is that you're going to experience the world in a different way. Like, maybe you weren't necessarily like a nature person before, and now you're going to go out in nature and appreciate it in a way that you never did before. And maybe you can ask those partying friends of yours to go for walks in the woods together, something like that. You're going to definitely have a shift, and you're going to definitely feel more connected and powerful and stronger than you have been feeling in a long time, since probably the beginning of this lockdown. Okay, and the last card that we got for you is a card of doubt. It says, offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises, But you can say, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it just, again, it feels like you have been just feeling super disempowered because of whatever is going on in your life, specifically in regard to what's going on in the world for everybody right now, right? Your life has been shut down and you have been feeling really bummed out about it, which is normal. I mean, it's to be expected. And it's been disempowering for you. Like my sense is that you kind of lost yourself in some way. Like you lost your will, I heard. Maybe somehow you lost your will. Like maybe you were like a go-getter before, and something about this pandemic has made you doubt yourself. And I imagine that you're doubting yourself more now than you have maybe ever or in a very long time. And that is even more scary and upsetting to you. And so not only are you like, oh my God, my life is totally different. Like my work, my social life, my friends, my family, everything that I used to love to do is now gone and changed. But now I don't even feel like good in my own skin anymore. I don't even feel like the confident, free spirit that I used to feel. But it's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. It sucks what we're going through right now. This whole pandemic and the whole world coming to an end and all of it. I have been going through my own shitstorm over here. I'm sure you have been too. We all have been. And some of us are taking it harder than others. And it's okay if it's been really difficult for you. And it's okay if it does feel like a death in some ways, because it is. However, I feel like what the cards are telling you is that your connections and your power are not going anywhere. Those are just inherently who you are in this life. Like you are a social person. That's not going anywhere. You are great at making connections with people who truly love you. That is not going anywhere. Your powerful, fiery, feisty side isn't going anywhere. It may transform a little. It may transmute a little. It may become pure is what I heard, like a pure version of what it has been almost. Like allow this to be the fire that burns off all of you that no longer is needed. Do you know what I mean? Like when life gets really horrible is when we are faced with an opportunity. Either it can destroy all of us or it can destroy the things that have held us back in life, in order that we expand and grow and become actually more of the truth of who we are. So I would venture to say that the beautiful qualities that you've loved about yourself and your life are actually going to expand and grow to become better versions, but you have to allow it to change. And you have to have trust in yourself and in the universe that things are going to work out for you. Things are going to work out for all of us. We may go through, a crazy time for some time, but for those of us who stay open and available to whatever lessons are coming our way, we're actually going to grow and expand from this. We're actually going to move into more freer, better versions of ourselves in a way, So this can be true for you as well. Just because the outside world is changing doesn't mean that you have to lose yourself or what you enjoyed about your life. Absolutely not. Like, you can't go to a club, you go to a park. Okay. Things change in life. every stage of life, we grow, we expand, we change. That's inevitable. I don't know why this feels relevant to tell this story, but please apply it to you however it works. I used to be a major party girl. I lived in New York City for like 15 years, and I was a big drinker, and I loved to go to bars and socialize and drink and party, and it was so fun for me. And I really got like some of my greatest joy from those experiences, meeting new people. I'm also a social person, and I love to go to clubs and parties and, just have a great time till the wee hours of the morning. Well, I got to a certain point in my life where I was drinking too much, and I realized that I had to quit drinking. And I realized that the reason I started drinking in the first place wasn't actually for fun and connection, it was because I needed to close down my emotions, because my mother had died when I was 21 years old, and that's when I started drinking. And so I was masking all of that sadness and loss and grief in alcohol and partying. So, although that realization was a great catalyst for me to let go of alcohol, I was still really scared for a long time, because I thought, oh my God, how am I ever going to have fun again? How am I going to ever be a fun person again? If I always drank and loved to be like the life of the party, will I not be as fun as I used to be? Will I not have as much fun as I used to be? Will I not be able to make connections with new people? I had all of those fears for a long time. And the truth is, at the beginning, when I first quit drinking, I didn't go out. I avoided bars for like a year or two, maybe even. I didn't like to obviously go to clubs. I didn't drink. I stopped going to birthday parties, dinner parties, all of that stuff, because I couldn't drink anymore. So I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to have fun again. And it took some time to shift and transform. But today, 10 years later, I can tell you very confidently that I absolutely have fun in my life, and I'm absolutely a social person, and I'll tell you, I'm way more confident now without alcohol than I ever was with it. And my connections are way more genuine and authentic now than they ever were before. My life is very, very different, but at my core, I am the same, better than I was before. So I feel like that is important for you to hear, that your life is changing, your life is transforming, and unfortunately, you're not doing it yourself, right? It's imposed upon you. But that doesn't matter. Your life is always still moving in service of your highest and best good. God is on your side. The divine is moving through your life. So no matter what restrictions you're having in your life, no matter what is taken away from you right now, I promise you the universe is ever abundant, and you will be given new opportunities to experience the fullness of your life again, but better this time. More realized, more fully realized, self-realized. Because sometimes we get locked into patterns where we don't even understand that we've sort of collapsed ourselves inside of that pattern. Like, I am a party girl, or I am an artist and I paint, and so that means that I have value because I am a painter, That was another thing. I was an actor my whole life, and I always, my power came from my artistic abilities. And so then I'm no longer an actor. I'm no longer a drinker. I'm no longer all of these things that I thought I was. I was these things. So if I'm not these things, then who am I? How do I have value? And how do I have fun? Well, all of those things were stripped away from my life. Yes, I chose to get rid of them in many ways, but it doesn't matter if you choose them or life takes them away. It's all the same in the end. They're not there anymore. But guess what? Life is always doing that. Change is inevitable, right? That's the only thing we can count on, is that this too shall pass. Everything always changes in the material realm, which is what we're experiencing right now. It's the material realm, right? But what is constant? What is constant is the universe, is spirit. And that is what is always flowing through your life and always guiding you to experience more and more of your true self, your spirit. So this lockdown is giving you an opportunity to experience yourself as the spiritual being that you are. That's what this is about for you. That is your lesson. And all of that connection and fun and vitality that you have enjoyed about your life is still going to be available, is available to you actually right now. And your lesson is to find it right now. Despite what is happening in your outside circumstances, your lesson is to experience the joy, the bliss, the connection, the beauty of your life right now. And that may be by yourself in the woods behind your house or wherever in nature. That connection you can have with a tree, right? That expansiveness you can have at looking at the sky. That vitality you can feel with the wind in your hair. All of that is possible for you right now in your life right now. I am sure of it. And I am also sure that the universe wants you to cultivate faith. That's why you got the doubt card. Because that's what you're experiencing on a soul level. You are experiencing a lot of doubt in yourself, maybe even in your connections, in your friendships, in life. You know, maybe you're having a little bit of a dark night of the soul moment. I think collectively we are on the planet right now when we're brought down to our knees and everything becomes dark and we have no idea how we're going to get out of it. Well, we have one choice: to go within. That's it. But that's the beauty of the dark night of the soul, because it blacks out all other possibilities for escape. The only escape is inside. And then once we go inside and start looking around, then we can start to make choices that are more in alignment with our highest and best good. Because my sense is that even though it felt like that was the perfect life or all of the things that you thought made you happy, my sense is that actually your soul wants you to walk down a new path right now. And you're going to find that path because you've been forced to. And in a few years from now, you're going to look back at this time and you're going to say, thank God the world shut down, because look at what I created in my life. Look at what my life is like today. And had I not gone through all of that, and had I not had my business shut down and my friends and my boyfriend and everything locked down, had I not gone through all of that, I wouldn't have created the life that I have today. And this is perfect for me, this life. So do not lose hope. Do not lose faith in yourself, in your relationships, in your own strength and ability to withstand, to overcome, to create. Do not lose faith in the inherent goodness of the universe. Do not lose faith in the divine. It is always working through your life in service of your highest and best good. Even now. Even now. So the guidance is to go outside in nature, put your bare feet on the ground, take some deep breaths, and go within. And you will continue to be guided to this new path, this new life, this new experience of life. Yeah? Okay, group 3. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, I would love a thumbs up. Or even subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings every week. I would love to hear what this reading was like for you in the comment section below. If you feel comfortable to share, that would be amazing. I send you so much love and light. And until next time, be well.